what are some of the things that you look for to be able to identify what you need to know about a person so that you can start to figure out like what introductions to be able to make to other people?
Yeah, so the main thing, well, there's a few, probably four things that I ask
Mhm,
for. Whenever I meet somebody, I tell them, look, in order for me to remember what you do and make the proper connections for you, I need to capture important information that allows me to make better introductions for you.
mhm,
Because I talk to so many people each day, I cannot remember everything in my head or in some
right,
random notebook. I need it documented in my CRM. So to help me help you, I
mhm,
ask that you fill out my networking intro form, which has your brief bio. And I ask for your bios because I want to use your words to properly represent who you are when I make proper introductions for you. So you know yourself a lot better than I do. So I want to use your words to represent who you are. So it allows me to make proper introductions. But also, too, in order to find the right people, I need to know who is your target audience. I need to know who are your strategic partners. And some people get confused by what strategic partners are. They end up
mhm,
going on a tangent about who their target audience is. It's totally not that. And I have to clarify people. I always ask during my one on ones because if I don't ask, they might put it in the same information or incorrectly put in the information when they're
got
filling
it.
out the form. So I tell them strategic partners are not your target audience. They're other professionals that also are connected to your target audience, but providing a different service. And sometimes that other service provider may call on you because you could solve a problem that they can't and they
Mhm,
want to make their clients happy. So they'll end up referring their clients to you. So I need to know who are the professionals in your network that serve your target audience. It's very, very helpful because that's how I've built my business. I refer to them as the golden gooses. They're
yes,
laying constant eggs because those eggs are in the form of prospects that you could serve because they know you very well. If you fostered a relationship, they will keep you top of mind and connect you with their client base because they can't solve that problem that you can solve. That is the most important thing or component that I've used to build my business is creating strategic partnerships with people like digital marketing people, web development people, because a lot of times their clients might need a CRM, so they refer me
mhm,
business. A lot of times my clients might need SEO or Google paid ads or copywriting. Well, then I could refer my people to those people that could solve the problem because sometimes my clients think I could solve everything and I can't. Like my
right,
wheelhouse is CRMs. If they ask me about other things, which I'm happy that they think highly of me that I know how to do that, that's fine. Now it allows me to connect my networking partners to them so that it could be a direct connection to a possible referral. So strategic partners is the very, very, very important data I need to capture from them. And also too, I
okay,
need to find out what pain points they solve. Like
mhm,
tell people, like there's a form in there, there's a field that says pain points. Put in all the pain points that you serve. Put in all the keywords because the thing that
yes,
what's important about that is when you put in all the keywords associated with the pain points that you solve, whenever I run into somebody, whether it be a networking partner, a client, and they're telling me about one of their problems that I can't solve, well, I go into my CRM, I'll
yes,
search for that pain point, and if you inputted your list of pain points in the CRM, you'll come up in the search results. So therefore, you have an opportunity for me to connect you with your direct prospect. And some people fail to put in their keywords associated with the pain points they solve because I make it optional, but I tell them
mhm,
why it's required, why it should. I don't want them to have to put it in like it's too much work, but if they're going to put it in and it's optional, that means they're really serious about creating a connection to me because they know I could provide them value. So those are the four things that I captured from people because now all that information that they stored is searchable within my CRM. So I have my own first party data. That this is the data that I've accumulated that's come directly from me, not from some random third party. And that's another thing I believe in. I believe in collecting first party data, which is data that you fostered, that you've extracted from people
yes,
that have given you consent. Like a lot of these marketers or whatever, they're doing all this advertising, and I always ask them, well, where do you get your data? Where is it at? Where is it coming from? What's the third
mhm,
party you're using? I don't believe in, like some people believe in third party data. I don't. I would rather create a direct connection to first party data that actually belongs to me, and I can leverage that data because I know those people. That to me is more effective data. It's going to be more engaging data because those people
mhm,
know who you are. But that's just my process. Like, there's nothing wrong with using Google Ads or whatever to pull from third party data and doing all your filtering or whatnot. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but my preference is to gather first party data that actually belongs to me.
no, that makes sense, and there's a lot to unpack there that I don't want to just kinda
Yeah.
go over someone's head. One, let's just work backwards. Pain points, and just overall, what I heard and what you said is understanding the language. It's no difference than having the understanding the language that the audience you might use, the audience might use if they're a client. It's the same thing with referrals. If you're humble enough to be able to understand where your expertise starts and stops, and you're able to say, well, these are some of the things that I know people struggle with, that allows you to be able to do that kind of search. And that's how people search when they're an audience. That's how people search when they're not just clients, but that's how strategic partnerships are starting to be able to pull stuff together. So if you can't describe it in a bio, if you can't describe it in a form, then you probably can't explain it to who your actual audience is, because you
Mhm.
should be able to understand that language well enough to be able to go, oh no, I mean, this is who I help. This is how I help them. This is why they have the struggles. These are some of the things that I know, like right off the top of my head, because your why, that should be part of your why. It's understanding. One of the things that I say is there are 3 basic reasons that someone will start a business. They had a great experience that they wanna help other people have. They had an awful experience that they wanna help people avoid. And then some people just saw an opportunity to be able to make money, and they have, like, second or third hand knowledge. So, I have an appreciation for you saying, "I'm not as big of a fan of third hand knowledge," and let's just talk about what that is. That's a third party basically saying, "Here's everything that I know about the person, and here's how you should be able to use it or leverage it." Well, I mean, that's great, but that's their perception. That's how they view that person. How do you really know that that person aligns with what it is that you want and what you do if you don't actually have that kind of interaction with them? So I think it's great for making an introduction, but I think whenever you're structuring your business or how you're going to go about your messaging or any interaction that you really meant to have with that person, you should have a conversation. You should have some kind of interaction with them, because that's where you validate everything that you heard from the third party and turn it into first party information. And first party is really just
Yeah.
saying, I didn't hear from somebody else. I heard it directly from you. So there's no misunderstanding of, well, I don't know how I ended up on this list. I think that's where there's a disconnect where some people do paid ads. I have no, like, I was in the paid ad business. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely don't have anything against it, but
Me neither.
I think people should be using it as a way to introduce themselves to people. They should find out where these people are. Like, that data is meant to say, well, I found these people here. And then you go where they are and you start to have that conversation so that you can understand the different levels of conversation that you can have with those people. And that's where you really start to find your ideal customer. I think one of the other things that you spoke to, strategic partnership wise, you have a workshop coming up. And one of the things that I loved about it, that based on our conversation, it made me actually put together a framework. And part of that was really being able to understand that you need to understand that people are going to be speaking on your behalf. So if you don't arm them with the information, if you don't arm them with the pain points, you don't arm them with the language that people need to use and things like that, you never know what they're saying. It's almost like that lunchroom rumor that goes around where someone could say something, and by the time it gets back around to the person that said it, it's a completely different thing. So if you're not giving them the information to be able to speak to your business properly, then you're not putting yourself in a position to get real referrals. What you're getting are people that are making introductions, and then you have to go through that whole process all over again. And when you're dealing with someone that's dealing with a time constraint, they may not want to get on a referral call and then start all over again when they could have gotten all that information and realized, yes, it's a good fit, or no, it's not a good fit, before they actually got on the call. So I think the bio and everything that you're putting together allows people to not only be able to arm themselves, but the people that they want to be able to give referrals and make introductions. It gives them the information that they need to make meaningful introductions. And it allows you to be able to be more mindful of your time, your calendar, and everything that you're doing. And then it's also, green flag, red flag. We continue to reference it throughout, but it's a red flag if someone can't speak to their business, because
Mhm.
then that makes me feel like, okay, well, now I have to be a little more cautious, because if you don't understand your business and you can't describe what you do, how am I going to put you in contact with somebody else that's looking for you to describe what they do?
Mhm.
Like, for me, that's a red flag. That's going to be something where it's like, okay, I need to have a conversation with you and pull that information out of you and make it so that it's easier for you to be able to express it. But if you can't do it, then me introducing you to someone else that's like this, that's going to be hard for that person to be able to see the value in what you can bring.